Greetings to you. I'm Brother James Muhammad, a student in the ministry of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and your host for this week's segment of Closing the Gap broadcast. I want to welcome all of our regular attendants, as well as those who may be here for their first time. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us and to share with us this, what promises to be an inspirational, instructional, and edifying program. So thank you. And for those of you who are regular participants in the program, you know that we always open up the program in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God to whom all praise is due, the Lord of the worlds. We thank Almighty God, Allah, for his merciful and prophetic intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. And we thank him for raising up from our midst his messenger, Messiah, the exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, through whom we have been given our beloved and blessed Redeemer. And I refer to him as my personal Savior. The man of whom I speak is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It is to these men that we are deeply grateful and highly honored for the privilege to create this platform and to offer to our people a platform from which we can share some of the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad as they so wonderfully are given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And in their names, I'm very, very happy to greet all of you in the studio, as well as our viewing and listening audience, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. And in this season of Ramadan, we say Ramadan Mubarak, which means blessed Ramadan. And of course, the response is Ramadan Kareem. Ramadan is generous. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a very, very special guest, a very, very special program. I have known my brother, I think now going on 35 years. It must be, Brother Minister Jamil, at least 35 years. And I'm so very thankful for the acquaintance. I'm so very thankful for the association. And I am so very thankful for what he has taught me. And as a side note, if you all appreciate the appearance of Brother James and how he puts his outfits together, I want you to know that my mentor is here tonight, my dear brother and minister and fashion mentor, as well as mentor in the teachings, my dear brother, student minister Jamil. Before we bring him to the microphone, I want to, of course, extend the opportunity to my co-host, my dear brother, student minister Chad Muhammad of the Great Muhammad Mosque number 47. Also, I'd like to extend the love and greetings from our dear sister Starla, who will be absent only physically, but not in spirit, as she is traveling with her family today. But she sends her greetings and love of Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. So, student minister Chad.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, family. And likewise, just want to say Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. Brother Jamil, I tell you this, he's not exaggerating. He talks about you all the time about his dressing. And we give him kudos and thanks all the time. You know, everybody that come up to him know he's sharp, and he always talk about you. He does. He is not fronting. He's not put on the front. He's telling you the truth. He really give the credit to you, and thank you. So we're happy to have you. Also, just wanted to extend the greetings on behalf of our student regional minister Patrick, and all of the believers here in the 7th region of Assalamu alaikum also, dear brother.
Wa alaikum salam. Please return the greetings to my mighty believing family.
All praise is due to Allah. Wonderful, wonderful. And now it is my great privilege and honor to present to most and introduce to some our dear brother, student in the ministry of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for many, many, many years, great helper to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to the mission of the resurrection of the dead, and to the nation of Islam. My brother, my friend, my mentor, student minister Jamil Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, brother Jamil.
Walaikum salam, and thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And I pray that I can live up to 1/10 of some of the things you've already said in the first, 5 minutes of the program. So
Yes.
let's get on and talk about some Islam. How y'all doing tonight, brothers?
All praises due to Allah, and we pray and trust that you are. In fact, we know that you are doing well also. Now, as traditional on the show, inasmuch as many of our guests, in fact, almost all of them, don't like to hear their bio, but we always extend the honor to our esteemed guests to read the bio, just in the event that there are those who are not acquainted with you. We want to give them just a brief synopsis of the great work that you have done thus far as a helper to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. And I understand that some of the bio needs to be updated. So at points wherein I read dates, if they need to be updated, please feel free to correct me, dear brother. All right. Minister Jamil Muhammad, as one of today's most insightful observers of the realities of urban life and modern trends, Minister Jamil gives great television and radio. Born and reared in Cincinnati, Minister Muhammad has been present for or involved in most of the watershed historic events of the last, and here it says 30, but it's supposed to be 44 years. Is that right?
This is my 46th year.
46
active in the
years.
nation. Mhm.
Thank you.
I started out 4 years before I was born.
All praises due to Allah. In the womb. Allah knew you in the womb, brother. Praise be to Allah. Okay. Particularly as a top assistant to Nation of Islam leader, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Minister Muhammad has traveled and worked extensively throughout the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean, with time in service in Ghana, West Africa as well. A hard-driving, inspirational community organizer, Minister Muhammad served as a pioneering Nation of Islam leader in cities as diverse as New Orleans, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Atlanta. In his capacity as national spokesman for the Nation of Islam, Minister Jamil has had many meaningful and productive dialogues with many of America's key opinion makers on all sides of all issues. Minister Muhammad also appeared on CNN's Black in America Part 2 in his role of program director of the Wedded Bliss Foundation, a Washington, D.C.-based nonprofit mission to promote Black marriages and healthy families in at-risk communities from coast to coast. He served in that capacity. Now, here again, the time needs to be corrected. How long did you serve in that capacity, brother?
I still do. That's something we are very proud of. In fact, today is Black Marriage Day. We'll get back to that in a little while, I'm sure. But that's 21 years.
21 years. All praises to Allah. During which, or an exciting, eloquent, erudite, and always well-informed addition to your program, booking. I know he didn't necessarily want me to say that, but you should. Your audience will remember him and remember you too. Praise be to Allah. He is currently married to our dear sister Tisha. Wonderful, wonderful, impressive couple. And you didn't mention here nothing but the truth, brother.
Yeah, nothing but the truth. Every Thursday evening, we come on this same way of access. We've been on hiatus, but we are happy to report that in April, right after the conclusion of Ramadan, we'll be back up and we'll be having guests like my brothers that you see on the screen right here. We're looking to cooperate with different families around the world to provide conversations that can inspire people, inform people, uplift people, unwind people, and sort of make a connection between what we can do to live better tomorrow, or between us and what we can do to live better tomorrow. So that's the plan, okay, for Nothing But the Truth. We also have the Jazz and Justice radio program that we do on WPFW every Tuesday morning at drive time. It's 89.3 FM and you're in the DC area, but all around the country, we can give you the website. It's www.wpfwfm.org. I don't care if you like Coltrane or Jimmy Smith. I don't care if you're down with Shirley Horn or Ella Fitzgerald or Cecile McLaurin Levant. Anything you want, we got it. Call us. We want to have you as a listener, and let's make sure we get it together. All right?
All praises due to Allah. Wonderful, wonderful, dear brother. And of course, I hope there are those in the listening audience that are of age to know these wonderful artists. I know some of them that he mentioned. My father was a jazz aficionado, so I know some of them. But all praises due to Allah.
And yes, may I just interject to say this, Brother Mark? Yes, of course, Charlie Parker too.
Yeah.
The program is called Yardbird Suites because of the Yardbird Suite by Charlie Parker. And Charlie Parker was a favorite of Brother Askia. May Allah be pleased with him. So the program is called Yardbird Suites. But we play bird all the time. You know, you can hear it all in your mind. You can hear all that. So it's there for you every Tuesday morning from 5 to 8. We'll give out the web address later on in the program. But thanks for your question, Brother Mark. Yes, Charlie Parker, too.
All praises due to Allah. Well, you still have the mic. And let me say that those of you who regularly attend this broadcast, you know it is an interactive broadcast. And we want you to engage our brother. He is a treasure trove of history of the Nation of Islam and, of course, the Black freedom movement. And you definitely need to tap into his brain, as I have done. And it is beneficial and informative. So let's get rolling. You still have the mic, Brother Jamil, if you have something else of an opening remark you want to say.
I just want to thank you all for recognizing my wife, Sister Tisha. She is a really unique and rare person. And I just want to pause for a moment. If I were a member of the Dells, you all remember the Dells, the mighty, mighty Dells. I'd give her a standing ovation.
Yes, sir.
Because she is quite a remarkable person in her own right. And she's making me better by her partnership with me. I'm very grateful to Allah for her, and I'm very grateful for all of the people who helped me love up on her, because she's a respected woman and a respectable woman and a good woman. And I'm just grateful for her. And I just wanted to say that, you know, not because I want bean soup and banana pudding tomorrow night. That don't have nothing to do with it. That's entirely coincidental.
We'll leave that to our judgment, brother.
Hey, I tell you what, Student Minister Jamil still haven't lost his sense of humor. I'm gonna tell you something that I'll never forget. You know, me and my wife, we joke about it here and there, but I can't remember the year, but it was some time back. But Student Minister Jamil was kind of hosting, like we had a talent show during Savior's Day. And I don't know was you the host or what, but I know you was up there speaking and getting it going. And I'll never forget. Everybody was kind of still and not moving. And you just talk to you, come on, y'all can dance. You ain't not getting no time out. Dance. You can have fun. And we just busted out laughing. You're like, yeah, come on, dance. You can have fun.
That's my brother.
And me and my wife to this day, we still be playing with each other about that. But your sense of humor, you know, you work cheerfully, fear not. You know, you can see it all over you when I watch old videos of you and, you know, opening up for the minister. That spirit, you know, that you bring and still have. And even when I'm hearing about you on your wife, it sounds like somebody that just got married last week. And it carries over. And I mean, and I can feel it through the screen. I really can. And it just makes me smile, because I think about being married in Islam. My wife, actually, her birth anniversary is today. And
congratulations,
sister. So it's just beautiful, being married and still the longevity in marriage and also in Islam.
That's
so
right.
Just hearing it from you, dear brother, I just want to, congratulate you and thank you for being an inspiration and motivation to so many.
All praises due to Allah. Hasn't always been that way, brother. I just want to give the good news to the people who've been out there messing up. That Allah is not finished with you.
Come on.
That's right.
Allah can save you from yourself. Because some of the stuff you do in your marital context is really some real crazy, simple stuff. I don't have to point nobody out. I'll just point at the person that I know about. I was not always good, but Allah saved me from the lower aspect of my own thinking and brought me through. I had to pay some prices now. But where I am today, I feel so good and so comfortable.
Yes.
Ain't no front in my game. I'm just here. I am. I'm so grateful to be where I am. Allah has given me benefit and answered my prayer. My prayer is the same prayer that was prayed outside the temple in the days of Jesus when the Pharisees were lifting their suppositions to the Lord in great flowery language. And then after the Pharisees got finished, a poor man tapped up there beside them, and his prayer was this: "Oh Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner." That's my prayer too.
Right.
And when you pray that prayer, you never know. Allah have mercy on you and bring you out better at the latter stage than you were in the former stage.
Come on.
I'm so grateful that Allah has saved me and preserved me, and I'm a living witness that ain't no position that you could be in that's far enough away from God that he can't reach you. I bet you before the end of this broadcast, we can talk about his 3 things that God has never seen. What you mean, Jamil? God's seen everything. God knows everything. But I bet you it's 3 things that he's never seen, and I will challenge you to tell me what they are. You don't have to do it now. No, commentators no listeners, everybody in the chat, you don't have to do it now. But it's 3 things that God has never seen. We'll talk more about it later.
Yes, sir.
I like that challenge.
You piqued my interest, dear brother.
I know, right? I like that challenge.
To Allah. Now, we forgot to mention that this is the inspiring, erudite, stentorial voice that you hear on Ummah Reflects, formerly called the Ramadan Prayer Line. Our dear brother has that to his credit as well. So we don't want to leave that out. It wakes me up in the morning Allah wakes us up in the morning, but it keeps me up and puts me right on course for the day. So thank you, dear brother. All praise is due to Allah. And please give our love and greetings and appreciation to all of the staff, Brother Minister Abdul Akbar Muhammad, of course, Brother Muthakir, Brother Shahid, and all of the others of the tech team. Please extend to them our love, our greetings, and our appreciation. Yes, sir, I will do that. And I would be remiss if I didn't remind you of the words of the founder of the Ummah Reflects, Dr. Nisa Islam. Oh, Dr. Nisa, yes.
And Dr. Nisa always reminds us that Islam is not the problem.
That's
Islam is the answer.
That's right.
Praise be to Allah.
So let's get rolling.
Okay. Praise
Ramadan, the reflections of a soldier. I'm going to turn the show over to my dear brother,
praise be to Allah,
and student minister and co-host, Brother Student Minister Chad Muhammad.
Thank you, Brother James. Praise be to Allah. I want to kind of go off of where we left off at. I remember, just talking about the Ummah Reflection Prayer Line. I remember hearing Sister Nisa, Dr. Nisa Islam, talk about how without you, she said there would be no Ramadan. At that time, she said Ramadan Prayer Line. She said because we mentioned the idea to you, and you told her that it'll be a good idea, and you also helped her to put that idea into fruition. Could you expound on just the importance of good influence, because I know she talked about it, and we can think sometimes that, if you was the naysayer and you like, well, I just don't think should be it right now, or this and that, we wouldn't have the privilege to wake up to adore and to hear and to get our day started with that wonderful prayer line. So if you could talk about that experience and, just, and where it's at today from back then to still going on now. If you could give us some backdrop on it.
Sure. And thank you. That's a very good question. We go back 18 years.
Wow.
With the Umar Reflects, the Ramadan prayer line, as it was once called, and it started out as what we affectionately referred to as the prayer tsunami.
Right.
And the reason why Dr. Nisa created it was to connect the children. Like my children and her children are the same ages. They were all away at colleges and everywhere like that. So they're cousins. You know how Islam is, everybody cousins. That's
Right.
why you can't mess with a black Muslim, because you don't know who gonna bum rush you. You don't even, they
That's
just gonna come from everybody. Yeah, we ain't giving out no fair ones, everybody cousins.
That's right.
Remember that.
That's right.
But the children are away at school, and she thought of her children, and then I thought of my children, how they could use this too. And then she started speaking about how she wanted to just call them in the morning, give them a little inspirational word, tell them to remember to make Fajr prayer, remember to have a banana and a glass of milk or whatever it is in the morning, and then fast, right? And I said, that's a good idea for the community. Like the believers should do that. She was, we don't know how it's going to happen. The first day we started out, I think we had 16 or 17 people on the line. It was good. Next day is up to 45 or 50, and then it stuff started just rolling. And we used that occasion to actually pray for the minister who, this is 2006. The minister was under the weather. And we said, no, we going to pray for the minister every morning. And we're going to create what was called a tsunami of prayer. We're just going to make a tidal wave of prayer going up from the believers everywhere for the minister. And that idea caught on. So we read from the Holy Quran, and we talk about a section from that reading every day on the Ramadan prayer line, or the prayer tsunami. And the idea stuck. And here we are today. So many great believers throughout the years who have done it. And I think, in my opinion, it is an opportunity for Sister and Dr. Nisa to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the assignment that he got from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who told him, brother, find a way to unite with the Muslim world, right?
Right.
If he does that, this unites us with the Muslim world and their respect for the scholarship, the teaching, and the practice of the FOI and MGT under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the direction of the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There was a time when we weren't respected in the Muslim community worldwide. They didn't understand the mission of Mr. Muhammad. They didn't understand what we were doing in the way we brought about our prayer, the way we brought about our fasting, the way we brought about our practice. But here we are moving in this direction. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you don't understand my mission. They said, oh, what a folly it is to think that you'll bring Islam to the American Negroes. That's as silly as thinking you can put trousers on an elephant. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't miss a beat. He said, well, you can stay there and watch all you want to, but I got one leg on already.
That's right.
You see, the practice of Islam as taught by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has never been deficient nor derelict in its practice of the faith. In fact, it has infused with a new energy the practice of all Muslims around the world who admire the stand of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan on issues here in America on behalf of a people that nobody wanted and nobody cared about. It's more difficult to be a Muslim here. You see, when you are in the East, there's a minaret from a masjid near you all the time. And at prayer time, you hear the call go out through the streets of the city on a loudspeaker. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And you know it's time to leave off what you had been doing and go to prayer. How do you do that in Cleveland or Buffalo? How do you do that in Denver? How do you do that in Dallas, Texas, Dr. Lawrence? How do you do that? Yeah, Dr. Lawrence out there. I know Chad. Y'all mad he left and went out to the the man got to do what he got to do. Don't do that, man. Yeah,
See that? Yes, sir.
but you can't answer a call to prayer from a masjid and think that everybody around you supports you. No, the Muslim in the Nation of Islam has to be determined to be a Muslim. That's why we support each other. You got to have the will to be a Muslim first, the desire to do it, then that desire will feed the will. How you be a Muslim follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan in the same streets where you used to cut a food?
That's right.
How do you be a follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and you used to be an alcoholic? In my day, they didn't call it alcoholic. They just called it one syllable word, a drunk.
Right, drunk.
But see, you was a drunk in the old days. Now you accepted Islam, and every day you walk through the same streets, and on the way to the mosque, you walk past the bar.
That's
and
right.
You say Allahu Akbar, and you keep moving. How do you do that? There's something about this nation of Islam. There's something about this belief system. There's something about these practices. There's something about this faith, this fire that burns in the breast of the followers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that makes us stand out. Nobody else could wake us up. In fact, all the other Muslims walked past and left us in the grave.
Come on, brother.
Oh, yeah. Prior to 1930, they knew the Negro's condition in America. Since 1930, they know the Negro's conditions in America. But they walked past us. I didn't see nobody in the Black community talking about what school of thought was going to serve the Black man. Was it the Hanafi, the Hanbali? Was it the Maliki, the Shafi? Was it Sunni? Was it Shia? Was it Sufi? Was it Ahmadiyya? They didn't care. They walked past our grave. They walked past us in the ghetto. But it was Master Fard Muhammad who came to seek and to save that which was lost. Don't tell us that we are not Muslims because you don't understand what's happening with us. Be humble and say you don't understand. And then watch the miracle of the resurrection of the dead unfold before your eyes. Islam taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
Is the Islam that verifies you in who you are and tells you its most 6 important words are accept your own and be yourself. Your own self is a righteous Muslim. I know I'm off the question, brother, but I had
That's
to answer.
correct,
But see,
you on it. You on it. Come on.
This Islam that we got is so good. It's touching the entire Muslim world. People who used to castigate us, and it usually was our own people in America who had different philosophical ideas about Islam. I get it. And so you thought that you knew better than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who taught you and brought you to Islam in the first place. That's a lot of nerve. You done got so cheeky. That's what they say out in New Orleans. You cheeky. You got a lot of nerve. You think you smarter than the one that taught you in the first place, and you run chasing behind some other folks whose Islam you think is better. But the witness of the world of Islam against whatever interpretation of the word of Allah we have is the condition of the Muslim world. The Muslim world is not united. They need a message of unity, and the message of unity comes from the poor little son and daughter of slaves, the Nation of Islam. We are doing something that the whole world sees as a miracle. If they're honest about it, they'll say all praise is due to Allah.
Allahu Akbar. Beautiful. Praise be to Allah.
Wow, that is beautiful. Alhamdulillah. Student Minister Jamil, I know, you've been in Islam for a while, and I have heard the stories of you, like your early days of Islam. And if you don't mind sharing, we're dealing with reflections of a soldier. If you don't mind sharing for our listening audience, your experience with Islam, and even as I know during your college days also, and from the up under the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad to the transition, of coming into, up under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If you don't mind, would you share some of the reflections of just that transition from the earlier years of growing over, up with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad to that transition with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan?
Well, now, as Minister James can tell you, my life was kind of patchy. He mentioned earlier our friendship of over 35 years, and we'll get back to some of the more, because I'm not the only one on this broadcast, Brother Chad, that got some stories. This man right here, he got some stories too. But yes, I'll tell you, in the earlier days, prior to 1975, I was not a registered Muslim because I was too young to be a registered Muslim. I accepted Islam the first time I heard it at the temple, and it was called the temple then, in 1969. I was about to turn 10 years old, and I was at Mosque number 5 in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I heard Minister David Bacha, that great teacher of Islam at Temple number 5 in Cincinnati, teaching a message called The Black Man's History. I saw the FOI, because the FOI uniforms were relatively new back then. They had just come out a couple of years earlier. And the brothers would stand post with their arms folded like this. So I know everybody think that's a B-boy stance, but it was first the FOI. But they would stand with their arms folded and rock. They had those beautiful uniforms. And the brother was teaching the history of the black man, and it blew my little mind. And when they said, who believed? I said, I do. And I stood up and held my hand up. I got my form, and I went down to the secretary's table. I got my form that I had accepted. I took it home because you had to have parental consent, of course, as a minor to attend the mosque. And so I took it to my mother, and I gave it to her. And she said, what is this? I said, it's permission form. I'm a Muslim. She said, boy, and tore it up in the little tatters. Let me tell you how Allah works now. So she said, you can't, they don't believe in no Jesus. What's wrong with you, boy? She didn't know, and I didn't know either. But I knew I had to keep going to the mosque, so I would sneak out to the mosque on Sundays. Forgive me, Allah. But I would have my play clothes on, but I would carry out a shopping bag with a little suit jacket and tie and everything, and put it on in the car. The brother who brought me to the mosque, I'll never forget him. His name is Brother Wilbur E.X. Berry. Brother Martin, he passed away a few years ago. May Allah be pleased with that brother. But he brought me to the temple, and he would take me to the car. He said, brother, I'm not doing this no more. You're going to stop changing clothes in the back of this car. You're not doing it no more. You're going to tell your mother where you at. You're going to be good. I said, brother, keep your eyes on the road. And we get to the mosque, and I would go out to the temple. The Islam that I heard so lifted my heart. And I told this story. I told it to Brother Ben a few years ago in an interview down in Waxahachie, Texas. But I remember on my wall in my room, y'all got me thinking back, Brother Chad.
Yes, sir.
On my wall in my room, I had pictures, young boys had pictures. I had Oscar Robertson, the Big O. I had Pete Rose, because both of them played in war number 14 in my hometown, Cincinnati, right? I had a big old picture of James Brown. I had another Emory Douglas drawing. Emory Douglas was the artist that was affiliated with the Black Panthers in Oakland. And he had a picture of a black man reaching for the stars. And that was in my wall. I had Eugene Majid pictures, and I had a picture of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If you got that picture in the picture file, you can see it. It's the picture on the front of the Muhammad Speaks, or on the Message of the Black Man. And I saw that picture as a little boy. I didn't know what the attraction was, but I saw this beautiful, handsome man with this fez. Yeah. And he was looking directly into the camera. If you hold it up there, brother, you can see he's looking directly into the camera, and he's not smiling, but he's not frowning. He's focused and serious, but he's not off-putting and ugly. He's just beautiful. And he's saying he's got a message to the black man. Now, I had the picture on my wall without knowing any of this, but I thank Allah because Brother Wilbur would bring that Muhammad Speaks to our door every week. And my mother would buy the paper. She said, I love them brothers. They responsible and clean and sharp. See, that's how you keep your shoes shine. She'd tell me, look, Chipper, that's how you keep your shoes shine. Look at you. That's how you do. And that's the truth. These were people that knew my father in Cincinnati. My father was a civil rights activist and a black militant, as they used to call it back in the day. We'll talk about that too. But this is something that I treasure these memories because, Brother Chad, you opened up something in my thinking.
Yes, sir.
These were the years when being black was everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Mr. James, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
We were a people awakening to the consciousness of our own beauty, even our own dignity and self-respect. That's why it's hard for people from our generation to understand some of the performance antics of popular music artists today. Because in those days, many of the performers were trying to be dignified and to show the world that we had dignity.
That's right. That's right.
When you see the Impressions come on stage, they were sharp.
Right.
I heard of Sam and Fred, they were sharp.
Right.
Huh? And they come out, keep on pushing.
That's right.
They tell you, keep driving, keep moving. Right. When you see the modern jazz quartet come on stage, they would play beautifully. They would come out impeccably dressed. And they were not timing and cooning and jeffing and ha boss, none of that. Right. They played beautiful music with great dignity and they carried themselves the same way. The popular music of our day was say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Right. Everything was black back then.
Come on.
The popular songs in those summers back then, you hear R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me, right? Right. Everything was about this and us uniting. And so that was what I wanted to do. And Mr. Muhammad gave me a way to do that with a focus and an intent and a purpose that was more direct and laser sharp than anything else I heard as a 9-year-old. So I stood up and saluted and said, I'm with you, Mr. Muhammad.
Go ahead, brother.
I didn't get a chance to be a soldier like I wanted to be until years later. Right. When I heard that Minister Farrakhan was rebuilding the Nation of Islam, I was a student at Howard University.
Wow, come on.
And the day that I faithfully came to be with the minister is September the 27th, 1978. Oh, man. And ever since then, like they say, the rest is history.
Yes.
Right.
I ain't going to cry on this doggone interview. I'm not going to do it. Ask me something else, bro.
All right. When you started talking about that, I started thinking about, certain pictures. If you don't mind, we like to share with our listening audience. If you could tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
Well, the minister is teaching, and if I recall from the video, he has his arms outstretched, and he's talking about this tiny little budding nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
And the truth of God being found here. This is at the Pick Congress Auditorium on February the 22nd, 1981. Savior's Day, 1981. I look at the brothers on front rostrum posts. I can see the twins from L.A., I see Brother Errol from Philadelphia, the one that Minister Farrakhan lovingly calls Philadelphia Slim. That's my wife's favorite brother-in-law, him and Brother Minister Richard out in Los Angeles. And then there's Brother Marvin 2X, Brother Arthur from New York, and all the way on the left, the first brother you can see on the left, that's me.
Wow,
that's right.
Back in 1981, Savior's Day. And I remember us being so pumped up and ready. And when the minister announced that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive, I can't tell you the joy that was in our hearts. And so we didn't know whether the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was just going to walk out from the wings and come up to the microphone. We didn't know what was happening. We didn't know.
Yes, sir.
We didn't know, but we were so ready. That team of men right there, you see with them white gloves on, we're still friends. There's Brother Nate from Philadelphia. See, we're still friends to this day.
Right.
We still love the brotherhood.
Yes, sir.
We still love this mighty nation of Islam, and we love that man with his hands outstretched right there.
That's right.
Right.
You want to catch you a couple of quick hickeys? Mess with him.
That's right. That's right.
Praise be to Allah. And there's a close up one so we can see you.
Yeah. Same day. There's me and Brother Marvin. Right next to me, Brother Marvin 2X Young. And behind the minister, you see the great Captain Salim. May Allah be pleased with him.
Yes.
On post with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as he always was. On the far right-hand side above my head, there's Dr. Benny from Chicago. You used to hear him opening up the radio broadcast on WBEE.
Yes, sir.
As the minister spoke. There's Dr. Benny. May Allah be pleased with him as well. But we come through a long time with this nation, and I'm just grateful I can be here. I would rather be a doggone I'd rather be the plumber who comes and clean out big problems at the Nation of Islam at the house of God than be the king in some other house. Let me be the janitor, the floor at it. But I'll try to be brief in my answer. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan himself is the definitive soldier.
That's right.
You see, a soldier, and he really is much more than a soldier. If you look at the nature of fighting men in organized groups, if you will, the most basic element of being a fighting man is to be a warrior. A warrior has the heart to fight. That's good. But a soldier takes that one higher, because that soldier incorporates the heart of a warrior, but he also has the mind to hear and obey instructions and follow general orders and move in an organized way.
Make it plain, brother.
The soldier then is led by an officer. The officer now has an even greater grasp of the strategic goal of the fighting unit. You see, the officer field, right? But the officer is led by who? An admiralty or a generality. Admirals in the Navy, generals in the ground forces. These are people with the most strategic ideas, concepts, and follow-up in the entire Army. You can get Brother Dr. Lawrence to go in the chat. He'll tell you if I'm right or wrong. But those generals and admirals are led by still others in the model of the Western world, and that is civilian leaders. Civilian leaders. The commander-in-chief comes through the military often, but the commander-in-chief is not necessarily beholden to the military hierarchy or etiquette. He is the commander-in-chief. Minister Farrakhan is, in our organized structure today, the commander-in-chief on our level. Of course, he will tell you that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam, and it is true. But the man you get your instruction from today is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
Because he incorporates his instructions from Allah and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He incorporates the history of Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He incorporates the Sunnah and the Hadith and the history of the Sahaba and the history of the great Muslims throughout the world and throughout time. All of that is distilled in the instructional idea of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So he guides us to victory after victory after victory after victory. That's the kind of soldier that he is.
Yes.
He's a soldier who hears and obeys. Did you hear him at Savior's Day 24?
Yes,
he said, I have to give you this message because Allah threatened me. The Honorable Muhammad threatened me to tell it to you exactly right. He said he gently threatened me, but it was clear. He was telling me, go and say this. So as an obedient soldier, he saluted and he carried out the mission. That's Farrakhan.
Come on.
That's who he is. That's what he does. It don't matter what, I mean, heck, I can give you a bunch of recollections, what I saw in my soldiering. I could tell you about all them bundles we lifted out of all them trucks. I can tell you about all those times we stood on those corners in the snow selling papers to get our people a word that would save their life. And I'm thankful for the brotherhood of the FOI. I'm thankful for the example of my brother, Minister James. This brother right here, you see him right over here. That one right there next to me. Minister James used to provide inspiration just by showing up in Harlem.
Yes. Wow.
And we used to meet in the mornings, brother. This is around 1987, 88, back there.
Yes, sir.
We would meet at the market down on 125th Street.
125th Street Mark. Yes,
yeah, Mark 125. That's it.
Yeah,
and we would meet there for coffee in the morning. And then we would go out into New York to push the program in the old time Black Muhammad. And Brother James would show up. I don't know how he just would materialize. I don't know how he could, like a superhero. But he would come down the corner, brother. This is how he would do it, Brother Chad. He would clean. Usually he had I remember this one day, he had a full-length black cashmere. Oh, man. With black bone buttons on it, huh?
Wow.
Good googa mooga. He used to wear a dove gray Humberg from Biltmore with the Anthony Eden small brim and tilted just right. And he would walk down the street and he was all the people he would see, they would say, "Slum Lake, Brother James. Hey, my brother, say, man." And everybody he saw, he had a warm greeting for them. And he couldn't hardly make it to the meeting because the people were in his spirit, in his midst. And he was shining the light of Islam on them without teaching and talking. He was greeting them and showing the love that Allah put in his heart. Minister James, for the people that Minister Farrakhan was striving to save. That's why we love this brotherhood.
That's right.
You can't tell me nothing bad about no FOI.
That's
I
right.
don't even want to hear it.
That's right.
Because if what you're telling me is true, why you telling it? It ain't your business.
That's right.
And if it's not true, you a lie.
That's
and don't
right.
lie on my brother.
That's right.
Because the FOI, is there any Muslim other than righteous? I beg your
That's
pardon. I've never heard of one.
That's right.
That's why they call it brotherhood. If you got a problem, you know, look, we're going to put the hood on you while you work it out. Hey, brother, you working out your problem? Yeah, I'm on the hood. Get everything all right. You working out the problem. You got it straight yet? Okay, but all right, now you come on out. Okay, good. You've been under the brotherhood.
Yes, sir.
Right.
While you solve your problem. Let's make the kind of loving brotherhood that has no chinks in it, no holes in it. We can't say to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that we got an army full of soldiers that are a bunch of individuals.
No, sir.
No, brother. We got to have love for the brotherhood that makes us lock arms and stand together, like the Holy Quran said, stand together as a solid wall, like bricks, joined together by the mortar of love, held together by the mortar of love and mutual respect and dignity and honor.
Beautiful, man.
The Muslims, you don't know who you are. You the FOI. You the best, the righteous, and the powerful. That's who you are. You ain't just no paper boy.
No, sir. No, sir.
And when you officers talk to these men, remember, you're talking to a man who's filled with the Spirit of God. You can't talk to him any kind of crazy way.
That's right.
You talk to these sisters, you can't just chew at them. Wait a minute, no, cut it out now. You're talking to people whose hearts are touched by the divine love of God. And they heard the minister. And so they heard him and they want to live their lives helping him achieve the goal that he laid out for them. Ain't no little boy laying in bed at night looking up at the ceiling and can't sleep talking about, one day I'm going to join the Nation of Islam so I can obey my lieutenant.
No.
Nah.
Come on.
That ain't the reason why they're here. People are here because they want to help Minister Farrakhan bring about a better world.
This is true. So
talk to them accordingly and treat them right, because you want somebody to treat you right, don't you?
Yes,
absolutely. Absolutely. Praise be to Allah.
I don't know if that answered the question, but that was what it was.
Oh, yeah. She said it did. She was very thankful.
Okay.
We'll keep it going. The audience is most definitely engaged, so we're going to keep it going.
Keep it going.
Brother Luqman Muhammad, he asked the question, how did your time in the city of Philadelphia help or hurt your sojourn in the cause of Islam?
Did nothing but help me, Brother Luqman. Thank you for your question. Is that Luqman? That's not nephew Luqman. That's not Minister Rodney's boy. Put in the chat, is that who you are, brother? Let me know who's who up in here. But let me tell you, Brother Luqman, the Nation of Islam, the time that I spent in Philadelphia, that's where I became a man.
Come on.
That was my second ministry assignment. I was in New Orleans for a little over a year before that. But I got to Philadelphia in 1980. Huh?
He said, yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, okay. How you doing, nephew? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let me tell you. But see, Philadelphia was more than a notion. Philly, if you ever been there, like Brother James and I were talking earlier today, Philadelphia was something else, man. I was a young minister, 22 years old, square as a pool table and twice as green. I ain't know nothing. I was up in there just doing the best I could because I had sense enough to obey the minister.
Yes.
And I wasn't knowledgeable enough to fear anything else. So all I did was salute and move out. And so in Philadelphia, I did what I could to help establish Islam again. I had a great predecessor, the legendary Minister Jeremiah Shabazz.
Yes, sir.
Minister Jeremiah was, in many circles, is thought to be, next to Minister Farrakhan, the most productive representative that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had, along with Abdul Rahman in Atlanta and some others around, Theodore Hamza in Cleveland, others around the country, Minister Abdul Hassan Ali in Los Angeles, Minister John Muhammad in San Francisco, these great helpers of the messenger. But Jeremiah was definitely one, Minister Jeremiah.
Yes.
He was one of the mentors who helped to shape me. So, Brother Lukman, my life in Philadelphia, I still go to Philadelphia and people say to me, welcome home.
Wow.
I haven't been assigned there as the minister in nearly 40 years. It's been 37 years since I was moved from that post on to the next post, which I'm sure we'll talk about as well. But in Philadelphia, I still love, live, and breathe that city of Philadelphia. I love the place.
Yes,
sir. I love it. I was in Anchorage, Alaska one time, Brother James. Walking, Minister Farrakhan had gotten on his flight. I was walking alone to get on my flight and go back. You know, you sad because you're not with the minister. You know how the minister went back. But we were in Anchorage, Alaska, cold, blustery, like you think Alaska would be. So I had on my gear, you know, my hat and coat, and I'm walking. I did my best Minister James impression. I tried to be like this guy right over here. I was walking through the airport, and I was doing my thing, and a sky cap hollered out. He said, brother, Assalamu alaikum. I said, okay, walaikum salam. I didn't know who the brother was. Then he asked me an interesting question. He said, what part of Philly are you from? I laughed. I said, I'm from West. He said, yeah, bro, I'm from Mount Airy. He said, I know you from Philly. That hat break and that coat and the way you walk, nobody but number 12. That's just the way it is. Wow. Another thing I learned in Philly, Brother Lukman, was what I call mosque pride. Get you some mosque pride. In 47, I want you to have it because you got a good organization down there.
Yes,
you know, when you go to Savior's Day and the believers are walking tall, and then, you know, we're from number 7, New York City, the elevated places, right? Yeah. Harlem, New York. And you see the brothers walk. We're from the People's Republic of Brooklyn. Yes, and you see the brothers walk 7C. We in here. You used to hear us say, tick-tock, the top of the clock. Temple number 12, Philadelphia, right? Yes. And we would walk with a certain kind of confidence because we were proud to do what we were doing and grateful that Allah was blessing us to be a brotherhood in that city, that beautiful city, that tough town of Philadelphia. And so we were proud. Newark has great mosque pride. Yes, sir. Temple number 25, Newark. See, Los Angeles. They would always tell you this is the manufacturing plant of the Nation of Islam, the West Point of the nation. Yes, they would say compassion when practical, combat when necessary. The West Point of the Nation of Islam. And you can recognize the LA brothers, right? Tall, usually a tall brother with a bald head and some freckles. I don't know why, but okay. LA. So there was pride. Get pride in your mosque. I don't care where you're from, but look around. Right. Look around your city and look at the brotherhood. And when you sit with them in FOI class this coming Monday night, look at them brothers. Come on. Yes, those are the men who agree with you that there is no God but Allah. Good point. Who intervened in our affairs in the divine person of Master Farad Muhammad. If they believe that Master Farad Muhammad is Allah, how small is the number in your city who actually think that way? You look crazy talking about you don't get along with folk that's in the mosque with you. Sister Annie Wright put in the post, she said, Brother Abdul Haq Muhammad, you right, that's a fire flame-throwing brother. Yes, Newark, New Jersey. That's right. Just flame, teaching the teacher. All pray. I was with him a couple of weeks ago in Baltimore, and Minister Imam Salam is in Newark tomorrow. So if you're in the Newark area, go to the mosque tomorrow. You don't want to miss Imam Abdul Salam Muhammad.
Mhm.
But I watched Brother Abdul Haq teach that teaching. And let me tell you something, brother. He cleaned the bench off. Wasn't nobody sitting down talking about, I don't accept Islam. They all come to say, that's right.
That's
He
right.
came and got up off that chair and came down and shake my brother's hand. Islam is hand-to-hand resurrection.
Yes,
Islam is person to person. I'm sorry, AWB, but I just got to call it what it is. It's person to person. It is the kind of thing that happens face to face. It's the kind of thing that happens after a conversation or an encounter with a believer. See, our people are not out there reading the Holy Quran, but they are reading the people that say they're reading it. Huh?
Come on.
Right.
They looking at you. They looking at you to wonder, okay, what kind of guy is this? He say a Muslim. What about that lady? She say she Muslim. If every time they see you, you don't greet them unless you got something to sell them. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. Why don't you smile at your people and greet them? Some people laugh at me. They say, you got to speak to everybody? I say, yeah. Because I read of the Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, peace and prayers be upon him, that he greeted everyone he saw. He went to the marketplace. Good morning, ma'am. How you doing? Hey, family. How you doing? Morning. How y'all? He would greet them because he had that kind of a heart. I want the heart in me that once beat in the breast of the Prophet of Islam, peace and prayers be upon him. I want the heart and mind in me.
Come on.
The same kind that beat in the mind in the chest of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I want the mind and the thinking of the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I want the commitment of them for the resurrection of our people. What the hell is Jamil going to do? Nothing. But if I'm here helping the messenger, I'm somebody. You got to understand this. People ask me, say, well, why did you come to the Nation of Islam? Didn't you have to sublimate your considerable talent to be in the shadow of Louis Farrakhan? Let me tell you something, dumb. I am not sad for a minute. Luke might hear me now. I'm not sad for a minute about where I am with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I love him. He's the most important figure of my life.
Yes.
You want to get your tibia broke? Messing around with Mr. Farrakhan, and I'm telling you now, I'm breaking tibias, I'm breaking femurs, I'm all kind of bones. You see, I've been studying anatomy today, okay? But I'm breaking all kind of stuff. I'm breaking vertebrae number 1 through 7. I'm breaking backs. I'm not playing with you. And the way we are about the minister, we got to be that way about each other.
Yes, sir.
That's a very good point, brother.
You can't come to me and tell me nothing about Brother James. First off, I know my brother.
Right.
What is your aim in telling me something bad about my brother? If you know something bad about him, why do you go to him and tell him, brother, there's something happening, we got an opportunity for improvement? And then why do you share in private the ability to solve the question, solve the problem with a solution? No, you was a kind of no good cabbage mouth gossiping sucker that go around the. I'm sorry, this Ramadan. No, I mean, I'm just saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be a rotten, no good son of a sea cook. Don't do that.
Right.
If somebody got a problem, you got problems too.
Yes, sir.
How would you want somebody to come to you with your problem? Would you want them to blast you all out and dump you all over social media and dump you out in the world and report you to everybody? And then, no, the first person you got to report to when it's a problem is the person that got the problem.
That's
Come on. Absolutely.
Hey man, hey bro, I see you coming out the liquor store, man, with a brown bag. It don't look good, brother. But that was just grapefruit juice. Okay. Why don't we get grapefruit juice from up here at the Winn-Dixie? Okay, right. Let's get grapefruit juice from over here at another supermarket or something. Let's get it from the poppy store. Let's do something different than that. Because that may make people think that the followers of Elijah Muhammad is now having liquor, and you don't want that now, right, brother?
Right.
You don't be the person, ooh, bro, Captain, I saw brother so-and-so coming out the liquor store, and he had a brown bag. Stop all that.
Come on, brother.
Stop trying to destroy other people for having frailties and faults. The one reason I love the minister and that I know he's the Jesus in our midst, some of y'all gonna disconnect after I stated. I said he's the Jesus in our midst. You know how I know that?
Yes.
Because me personally, he looked beyond my faults and he saw my needs.
Yes, sir.
All the mercy and love and forgiveness and grace that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has shown me on this mission, I would be a 14-karat crazy knucklehead fool not to try and be as merciful and kind to other people. So I don't care what you did. That was yesterday.
Teach.
Allah has the power. It says here in the Holy Quran. Minister James, let's get this Holy Quran out. Let's get it.
Yes.
We're just gonna do a little work. I know there ain't no preaching on the show, but we're just gonna bear
Yeah,
witness.
you
You know
can
what I mean?
preach, brother.
We're gonna bear a little witness, okay?
We got it with you, brother.
Yeah.
And let's go to 39 and 53. Let's go to Surah 39 and Ayah 53. Can we do
Yes,
that?
sir. Go on to it.
Might as well, because it's Saturday afternoon. What y'all gonna do? You ain't going nowhere to eat.
That's right.
Might as well hang out with us. We ain't no eat.
We got it, beloved.
You got 39 and 53, bro?
Yes, sir.
Now, it's interesting when we do that. In the name of Allah, would you mind reciting it? Now, I don't think I'm Geno Jennings. Geno got to do the read everything,
Like
I'm
the
telling
Hebrews.
you what you believe in is fake. Your church is fake. Your pastor's fake. No, we're not going that way.
That's right.
We're not going that way. But if you look at 39 and 53,
Yes, sir.
it gives us some good news, doesn't it, brother?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind reading it out loud, Brother Minister James?
Not at all. It'd be my honor.
Yes,
Seek
sir.
refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, O my servants who have been prodigal regarding their souls.
Stop right there. Stop. I am going to do one Geno Jennings thing.
Go right ahead, brother.
All my servants, that mean you. Because if
That's
you're watching this broadcast, you're not going to say, I don't serve no God, I don't serve no Allah, because this ain't even your kind of a program. So you already are a servant of Allah. But this is a specific group here. Those who have what? They've been, what?
Prodigal. Yes,
Prodigal, meaning wasteful, inefficient. Huh? They have been irresponsible. They have thrown away their souls. They've been prodigal regarding their souls. At some point in all of our lives, we have experienced a degree of prodigality regarding our souls.
Amen.
We haven't been as careful as we should. Even if you think, not me. They the ones, you all the gangsters. You're the ones that do this and you're supposed to be FOI. I heard you robbing banks and you that not just them, but even you to think you never did nothing.
Come on, brother.
You got your own prodigality, and it may be the temptation that you have to fall into self-righteousness. Let's keep going with the text, Brother Minister.
Absolutely.
What does it say next?
Despair not of the mercy of Allah. Surely Allah forgives sins altogether.
Whoa, stop right there.
Yes, sir.
It tells you despair not. That means don't worry about it.
That's right.
Despair not. Don't become upset. I know you in Tampa, Florida. I know you in St. Pete. I know you over there in Leon County and Hillsborough County, and you living out. Some of y'all going out toward Orange and Winter Park. I mean, all that.
Yeah, come on, brother.
It's hard to stay righteous in a world as wicked as this.
Teach.
You've been prodigal at some point regarding your soul, but don't worry about the mercy of Allah. Then the reminder comes after the word Allah. Surely what, Brother James?
Surely Allah forgives sins altogether.
Altogether. He forgives them altogether.
Altogether.
Oh, come on, Sister. You a producer. You done put up the scripture on the screen.
That's
you
right.
better go. Huh?
That's right.
Surely Allah forgives sins altogether. See, when you do something altogether, you do it completely, you do it totally, you do it finally, you do it inextricably, you do it indelibly. When you forgive a thing altogether,
come on, Brother Jamil.
It's gone.
Yes, sir.
See, Allah doesn't just forgive sins. I'm going to take a liberty here and say that he pardons them. When you forgive a thing, you might say, I forgive you, but I remember. But in the legal system, of which there's no discussion today about whether I've been in the legal system. That ain't any business. But I will tell you this, that a pardon does not just say you've been paroled. It doesn't just say you've been on probation. It doesn't just say you had a suspended sentence or you were released with time served. A pardon means that your whole offense has been what they call expunged, pardoned. You're gone. Your sin, Allah don't even remember. The minister told me, he said, brother, Allah takes your sin like a piece of paper. He balled it up and throws it into the sea of forgetfulness. Allah forgives sins altogether. So if you are watching this broadcast and you're struggling with something, come to Allah.
Come on, brother.
Come on. Come on, take one step toward him. He'll run a 100-yard dash toward you. Open his arms and forgive. He wants to forgive you. He wants to redeem you. He wants to tell you it's all right when you cry on his breast and say, I'm so sorry. Have mercy on me. I've been a sinner. God wants to say to you, it's all right. I got you now. Go, like John the 8th chapter. Go and sin no more. If your foot slip off the path again, Allah is the oft returning to mercy, the merciful. Allah is the most merciful of those who show mercy. He is the Lord of all the worlds. He is the rescuer, the redeemer. He's Al-Ghafar, the forgiver. He is the Lord of all the world. Ain't nothing you can do that Allah can't save you from. I told you, before we leave today, I'm going to tell y'all about 3 things God ain't never seen. Y'all don't believe me. You think I done bumped my head. But no, brother. No, sister, no. Allah. I'm not speaking to you from a platform as the minister of a particular mosque or a representative of this particular title or rank. I'm just your brother.
Yes,
I'm just Brother Jamil. You'll see the graphic on my screen. It just say Brother Jamil right there, right?
Yes.
Brother Jamil, right? That's all it say. Because Brother Jamil is all I ever can be. They could take everything else from me.
Right.
They could take everything, any citizenship, any national identity, anything other than the fact that I'm a Muslim, a believer in Allah, a follower of Muhammad, and a striving Muslim. I want to love you in spite of yourself. I'm looking for somebody to forgive right now. I can't think of nobody that did nothing to me. But if you did do something, I would have forgiven you. And I'm looking for you to forgive me if I've hurt you. And I have hurt somebody. I didn't set out to do it. Please forgive me. Please call me, cuss me out, and then I'm going to ask you for forgiveness.
Yes, sir.
And then please forgive me. I didn't mean to do no harm to you. Things just didn't work out the way we thought we was going to work out. And that's how it is.
Right.
But I'm asking you to forgive one another.
Yes, sir.
To open up the bounds of your brotherhood and expand your breasts and make room in your assemblies and be brothers and be sisters. You can't give the minister a broken nation and then say you love him. Don't give him an MGT class where you walk in the door of class on Saturday and you go in a different door from sister so-and-so. She don't like me. I don't like her. She know that. I know that. I don't fool with her. That's not an MGT class.
That's right.
That's a gaggle of hens. No, dear brother and sister, you can't give the minister an FOI where you got brothers openly contending and hating one another, speaking ill of one another. I don't care if you're correct. If you're correct and the other brother is wrong, there's a way to address that issue in our nation.
Praise be.
Yes, let us be found showing love to one another. There's my sister Jill from North Philadelphia. That's Sister Muthakara from Memphis, Tennessee. That's the Minister Abdul Muthaka's wife. And she and I soldier together now.
Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem. We soldier together now. And you know, she a soldier now.
Jilly from Philly.
Jilly from Philly. Her mom, her Aunt Dolly, her sister, and all of their families, they Muslims, huh? And I just, oh man, we got a mighty nation of Islam.
Yes, we do.
He said, brother, why you always talking to people. You don't have to talk to all them people. No, I have been blessed to know the best people on earth.
Yeah.
Come on, brother.
The FOI and MG. I love all the other Muslims. Don't
Yes.
get me wrong. I love Black Christians. They beautiful
Right.
people.
Right.
I love all of it. But there's something about that FOI and that MGT. It's something about what you are and who you are and what you do and how you do it. I've been around Black intellectuals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the Black intellectuals, they know everything. They know everything. They put everything, a label on it, and categorize it and tell you whether it's worth anything or not. And Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan, they dismiss it. But they ain't got a program as big as this doggone thimble, right? They ain't got a program that big. The program ain't got nothing. And nobody follow you.
No.
But you want to attack the minister.
Yes.
If you think the minister's program has a weakness in it, why don't you be a brother and meet with the minister and say, I can help you get stronger right here.
Go ahead, brother.
Listen.
And bring our people up out of this condition. It's not because you want to be stronger as a people. You just want to be the Negro that wins an argument in the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Come to Allah. You ain't doing nothing else. And I'm not chasing you up and down. Everybody used to tell me, why you know just come, man, I'm not chasing you with your own salvation. Come to Allah.
Right.
Come to Muhammad. It's Muhammad's side or suicide. What you want to do?
That's right.
See, Brother Luke, man, you heard the Philly coming out. There it is. Okay. what we gonna do? You know, I'm certainly not gonna get on this broadcast and say get down or lay down, because y'all misunderstand what I'm saying. Right? But Islam is the answer. It's the solution.
Right. It is.
And it is your dogged, hard-headed, stubborn refusal to accept your own and be yourself that has landed you in the precarious position you find yourself today.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to be catching hell from this enemy.
Teach
you don't
me.
have to be doing that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do it.
Come on,
you got to accept your own and be yourself, and then work through the issues that you got individually and help other brothers work out. The minister once said to us, the Nation of Islam is like a hospital.
Come on. Yes.
Like an asylum, if you will.
Right.
Where the patients who are ambulatory and more functional got to help the ones who are less able to move and less functional mentally.
Yes.
You see? So we're all in a condition where we need help, but we're in here helping each other.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know some people out there that can look at me and say, oh, he need help, God. He's in bad shape. Sounds crazy, looks a mess. Jesus, he's in bad shape. But help me out, y'all.
That's right.
Come on, brother.
That's right. That's right.
Because I need to be able to say, because when they bury me, nobody's gonna say, here lies Saint Jamil. They're just not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. But the last thing before I go off this planet, if y'all can remember it, if I get a chance, the last thing I do before I close these eyes, I'm gonna kick the devil in his keister one more time.
Yes,
one more time. And we're gonna make sure we give the devil hell. You know the song Heed the Call, Brother James?
Oh, yes, sir.
You know, and the minister, and he would say at the end, there's one line that used to give me goosebumps.
Yeah.
He said, our God has come to give us heaven, right? And take the devil
to hell.
into hell.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yes! Because the justice that we deserve as a people. See, some of you may have been born to forgive the slave master and his children. I'm not one of you. I don't give a damn about that. They killed my grandfathers and my grandmothers and raped them and turned us into junkies and whores and robbers and thieves and pimps, cutthroats. Destroy the whole people. If they're going to get forgiven, it's going to have to come from somebody that's above my pay grade. That ain't my job. To be walking around here trying to forgive the enemy devil who still wants to keep you in a pot of crap today. No. My mission is to help love the black man and love the black woman, because nobody loved us until Master Father Muhammad.
That's right.
The most honorable Elijah Muhammad proved his mettle with the Savior by showing love for us when the Savior said, that's it, Elijah. That's it. They won't listen. It's going to have to be me and you. We'll go by ourselves and build a new world. They say that Honorable Elijah Muhammad, look, and tears coming down his face. And he
Come
said,
on, brother.
dear Savior, give me a few more days with them. Give me a little more time. I'll get them to believe. Please don't destroy my people.
That's right.
That's the love that has to be in you. And if you love black people, and if you love righteousness, and if you love Islam, this is where you should be.
That's right.
Don't tell me you're so wise in your Islamic faith that you can perform all the functions, duties, and rituals of a Muslim in the East, but you ain't never got nobody up down at that gutter.
Come on, brother.
I was in South Philadelphia with a brother that some of you remember. His name is Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Dr. Khalid was, one thing you can say about Brother Khalid, he wasn't afraid to go show love to black folks.
That's right.
We was in South Philadelphia on a troop mission, and we looked out the corner of our eye and saw a black man seated on the corner. I think it was down, I want to say around 12th or 13th and Fitzwater by the high-rise project. I don't even know if the project's even there no more. The brother was sitting on the curb in a wife beater, dirty. He was crying. He was disheveled. Looked like he had been drunk or disturbed in some way. Brother Khalid immediately made a beeline to the brother. And you know how clean Brother Khalid was, always impeccably sharp and clean, head to toe. Brother Khalid immediately went and sat on the curb next to the brother.
Yes.
He put his arm around the brother's shoulder and he said, brother, whatever you're crying about, it's going to be all right, black man.
Yes, sir.
He said, come on and go with your brothers to the mosque. We got a mission and there's a place for you in the work. The brother looked at Khalid like he never heard words like that in his life. What? What? He got up and walked up out of that alley. It works.
Yes, sir.
I once saw a brother walking across the street in Baltimore on Edmondson and Monroe. Baltimore, shout out to number 6. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
I saw a brother going across the street, and you can tell when a junkie, see, heroin was big in Baltimore. Baltimore was a heroin town.
Yes, sir.
And the brother was going to cop. You can see, you know, because when you fiending real hard, you going to cop, you got to get that package. He's walking across the street, and I was stopped at the light walking in front of me. I don't know what happened, but I put the car in gear, put the brake on, and I stopped. I said, hey, brother, hey, brother, right here, brother. And he looked at me like, who you talking to? I said, you, brother, come here. He came. I don't know why he came over to. I said, get in the car. Get in the car. He got in the car. He sat by the door as I started moving with his hand on the handle in case he had to jump out the car because I might have been crazy. I probably was a little crazy. But I drove him to the mosque. It's on a Wednesday night. And I all the way up there, Ramadan Mubarak. But I said some choice language to him on the way up there about the foolishness and folly of being a junkie in this time in history when the time is for you to get with your own, accept Mr. Muhammad's program, get up and do something for yourself, all that. We pulled up in front of the mosque and I took him in the door. He went and got a seat. I went up to my office and got ready for the night's meeting. And Brother Abdul Rasul Muhammad come on, up to $5, whatever it is. Y'all
Yeah.
sister, see, and then when the sisters are working for the sisters early on in the rebuild and putting their uniforms, they couldn't sew, but they was proud to be MGT.
Come on.
The uniform, brother, didn't go all the way down, and but they were sewing it themselves.
Yes.
Two different lengths, one arm like that length, other arm they salute. But it was all
Right. Right.
kind of person would I be if I was saved by grace and I didn't tell nobody about it?
Come on.
I'm like the woman from Samaria that went to the well to get some water over there in 1 John 4. You see, she went up there. She was a Samaritan, and Jesus happened to be at the well that day. Sam Cooke said there was a woman from Samaria. She went to the well to get some water, and there she met a stranger who did her wonders tell. That woman dropped her pitcher. She drank and was made richer by the water he gave her, and it was not in the well. It was some living water. It wasn't just well water. It was living water. I've been given the living water by the Savior, and the man in my midst who touched me is my personal redeemer. I have to say this now.
Right.
I'm not ashamed to say this. I'm not trying to elevate him above his position. He is in the position that Allah gave him by Allah's permission. But in my life,
teach.
It's the grace of God that is exemplified in the work, the life, the contact, the mission of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Some of you get mad that we love him too much. That's because you never seen him.
That's right. That's right.
No, you've never seen nothing like that before, so it's wrong. Why you love him so much? Stop it, you old hateful rascal. Stop it. Just come closer to God. You'll understand.
That's right.
Come closer to the sisterhood, the brotherhood. You'll get it. You'll figure it out. The math will be mathing when you see it happening in real time in your life.
That's right.
But when you're a sinner saved by grace, you got to tell people there's a way out. Look at Tisha face. I said, girl. She said, what's wrong with you? I said, we just blessed.
That's right.
I look around us and I see where we live and I see how we live and I see what we have. We're not the richest people in the world, but God has provided safety and security for us after danger and instability. Allah has given us that. I'm like old Shout John in the Shirley season. You won. Hold you. Sometime in the middle of that and their service, he would get up, shout hallelujah. Look on John. One day the deacons come outside and ask, would you please stop all that undignified house screaming in our church? Just stop all that. And John said, let me tell you why I do that. If you look around you, I got corn, beans, tomatoes, potatoes. That's where that came from. Shouting John. He said, right now, matter of fact, I feel a shout coming on right now. He said, matter of fact, here, hold my mule. I'm about to run. Because he was so filled with the Spirit of God, he had to run and shout. That's how I feel sometimes. Y'all get that me if you want to. I feel good sometimes. My wife said I have instant church by myself. I know I do. I have an instant mom's meeting by myself. But when I think of how good he's been to me, what he saved me from and what he brought me through and where he's leading me to, there's no God but Allah. I'm so grateful grateful to be a follower of the.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You don't know what I'm talking about. I've seen people come in his midst.
Come on.
And they come to me by the middle of the night, like Nicodemus came to Jesus. But they're asking for counsel and guidance. You see, in a world as crazy as this, guidance is at a premium, but guidance is the currency of Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
Yes.
It is what makes him special. Right there on that picture. I don't know. Maybe I was telling him a joke or something. Never mind. The minister said, I don't know. But to be on the road, Brother James, I felt like the minister was under such heaviness.
Yes.
Time I used to like bring a smile to his face.
Yes.
You know. And I thank Allah for our beautiful Supreme Captain, Brother Mustafa Farrakhan. I thank Allah for him.
Yes.
We were on the road in all those cities and had those great soldiers out there that cut their teeth and made their bones out there on that road. But we would laugh with the minister and do characters and sing songs and create comedy routines to keep his spirit up, you know what I mean? And he would laugh and ask us, how did we get so crazy? And then he would hug us and tell us, y'all get some sleep. We got an early start tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that man right there.
Yes,
And he taught me to love every one of you.
Absolutely.
All the knuckleheaded ones, the hard-hearted ones, you stiff rock rascal, you think you're hard. All you sisters over there don't like everything wrong about it. Anyway, you more than I love you. You can't the content of that onto the mind and help them.
That's right.
Short time, but the message they will be forever. He's with us now before he goes to the wheel to be healed in the presence of God.
Yes.
No death for Farrakhan.
That's right.
On TV reporters are going to say, but he said no death for him.
That's right.
Oh man, I can tell you stories. I'm not going to do it though. But you got to take one story one time. We were over in one of the southern states. We're not really southern, it's Virginia. Really southern. But we were in a hotel there with the minister, and he was talking about his impending departure. He was saying he was going to leave. And my children happened to be at the table, my first three children, Camilla and Carmen and Leonard. And as the minister started talking about leaving, my children understand it spiritually. They understand the necessity spiritually and scripturally and time and what must be done. We get that.
Yes.
But my son, who views the minister like a grandfather, was saddened over the absence of the minister.
Right.
And at the table, Brother Chad, he started crying. I don't know why he does that. Nobody else in our family does that.
Right.
But he was crying, and when his sister Carmen saw him crying, her eyes got wet. The big sister was sitting at the other end of the table. When she saw her siblings crying, guess what? She cried too.
That's right.
Minister didn't say anything at the table. I'm sure he saw what was happening. But after dinner, he said, Jamil, get the children and meet me over here by this doorway. I went and got him. I said, come on, the minister wants to see y'all. And we get over there, and the minister, he patted my son on the hand. He said, Lenny, don't worry. He said, I saw your feeling change when I talked about departing, but I won't be dead. He said, what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told me was, if Allah can't save me, that's proof that he can't save you. He said, but Allah will save me. So that is conclusive proof. He will save you. He said, you're going to be all right, son. Don't you all cry. I'm going to be just fine.
Wow.
That's the kind of man he is. He's a loving, kind, beautiful man. My father. Oh, man, I got too many of them. We're going to have to cut off. I'm going home. I'm away. Bye. I'm done. He told my
we got
father,
time, Brother Minister.
He told my father, we went to Chicago in December of 1991 for a dinner that they were honoring my father because he's one of the founders of an organization called the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists to represent the interests of blacks in the labor union movement.
Mm-hmm.
And they were giving them this dinner, and I remember the performers that night were Billy Jackson and Jerry Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Young people, ask your family who they are, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
But we were going to Chicago to the event. And the minister said, "Oh, come by the palace and have dinner." So we were excited. We put on suits and ties and we got ready, we going to the palace. We got it together. We arrive at the palace at dinner time and we start panicking that we might be late because there's no line outside. There's a line, right, Brother James, out in front of the palace. Mm-hmm. So we get there, knock, ring the doorbell, answer the door, but it's the minister answering the door himself.
Wow.
In a here we come in, nobody in the palace. At the dinner table was 3 people: the minister, my father, and me. While we're eating dinner, I don't say nothing because you all learn this rule. When grown men talking, leave grown men to talk grown men. You're not on that level, leave them alone.
That's right.
That's good wisdom for you.
Right.
I'm sitting there and they talking. And my father said, "Brother Minister, thank you for what you're doing with my son." The minister said, "Thank you for letting your son come to help us build this nation." I said, "Man, I didn't say, I promise you I didn't say nothing." And to me, that's hard. But those 2, no problem. The minister and my dad, nothing. We're leaving the palace after dinner, after a great dinner, and the minister and my father had a great conversation. I had some great bean soup and some broccoli, okay? But they had a great conversation. We're leaving that night, and my father said, "Brother Minister, I have a favor to ask you." He said, "Sure, Brother Leonard." He said, "If something happened to me, would you look out for my son?" The minister shook his hand and said, "Brother, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. You're gonna be all right. But sure, I would look after your son." Mm-hmm. We left there, and 6 months later, my father died of an aneurysm. Mm-hmm. And since that day, Allah is my witness, Minister intermittently and irregularly called me out the blue. "You all right? Because I told your dad I would look after you." Mm-hmm. Decades after my father's passing on July the 9th, 1992, the minister still keeps his word. That's the kind of man. I can't truly I don't know so I don't want you to take me the way I dress. I'm the red. I remember shoes. I don't want to imitate that. I was sitting next to Brother Minister Van, and I don't want you to imitate that. I want you to emulate character. That's right. And it got quiet in the room because the minister was going, and I
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
Praise be.
We appreciate you, brother. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for your words. I wanted to share. We got so many questions for the audience. I know time is flying. We're at 7:38.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Iftar's around the corner, but I want to put this one from you. I think you know this person. Nothing
Yes,
but
go
the
ahead.
truth. What words of encouragement and or guidance would you give to our youth in finding their way in this world today? I think that's such a powerful question, for our youth that is tuning in, and us that have, children still in school, going to public school, listening to the music that they listen to today, watching the movies, and they step out from the mosques. Society is trying to grab a hold of them. Being in college, that struggle for balance and all that inclusive. If you can, most definitely respond to that question.
Well, thank you, dear brother. And to the questioner, you are cute, and I would like to take you out on a date. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing I'll say to the questioner, don't worry when you get home from out of town. All this stuff that's in the kitchen right now will be together. Okay, I got this. Okay, that's what I want to tell you. But the answer to the question, practically for our youth, is a serious matter, and we approach it seriously, and we approach it in a way that may be more direct than some would prefer. But we have to be honest. Islam is the answer, no matter what age you
Come
are.
on, brother.
I wish I could make it easier for you or say some coddling words to you, but the simple truth, young people, is this: Islam, accept it and live, reject it and die.
Come on.
People don't want to hear it cut and dry like that. But the world has nothing in it for you. The world has nothing in it for you. The problem is that we are too soft with the way we bring the message of Islam.
Teach me.
It is a good message, an encouraging, uplifting message. There's no need for you to pity pat with it as if you're going to compromise with this world or make somebody feel good about the things that they're doing in the world that are worldly. I can't tell my son or grandson, my daughter or my granddaughter, it's okay for you to emulate Sexy Red or Lil Nas X.
Teach, beloved.
I can't tell you that we are at peace with the LBGTQW, whatever it is, agenda. No, we're not at peace with that. Do we hate gay brothers and sisters? No, we don't. But the book that we believe in from Allah says that that practice is an abomination.
That's right.
We believe in the Quran in its entirety. We follow Islam.
That's right.
Therefore, if Islam condemns an action or a series of activities, it does not mean we condemn the people.
Teach, beloved.
But it means that we must stand firm on the word of Allah. You don't like that, many of you. You want us to tell you that it's okay to be that way. It's not okay for you to live in that condition.
Teach.
That is not your nature. That is not the way you were born. No. It's not. Yeah, see how quiet it's getting? Because everybody, oh my gosh, how am I going to say that to the young people? They want to do this, they want to do that. What they want don't mean nothing.
Come on, brother.
It's what Allah wants. The minister once asked me, he said, brother, do you want to live your life without ever being disappointed? I said, sure, brother minister, but how could I do that? He said, if you don't ever want to be disappointed or frustrated, then make what you want what Allah wants.
Come on, teach.
He said, Allah is the only being in the universe who is never disappointed, because what he wills comes to pass in 100% of the circumstances. So in order for me to want what Allah wants, I must up my quotient of patience. I must be able to be long suffering. I got to take plenty.
Right.
I got to be steadfast under trial.
Yes.
I've got to have character. I've got to have strength. I've got to have determination. I've got to be able to withstand the forces of the world around me.
Mm.
Young people need to hear that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We give young people too many reasons to accept wrong behavior.
Come on.
I don't want to sound like an old fogey, because I'm not. I'm exceptionally youthful
Yes, sir.
and vigorously masculine. I want to say that to the woman who asked the question. I want to say that to you. But you see, when I was coming up, brother, my mother never asked me what I want for dinner.
Mhm.
I mean, children today, what do y'all want? We don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, well, do you want this? Or do you want? What? None of that. May wasn't telling you none of that. May said, "Come, sit at the table. Here your dinner is. Don't get up till you ate it all."
Right.
That's it.
Hmm.
That's just the way it was. Parenting was parenting. It was guidance. It was direction. It was not accommodation and negotiation. Minister Farrakhan taught us once that the family is a dictatorship. It is not a democracy.
Mm-hmm.
That as a young person, you're under the age of majority.
Mm-hmm.
You have to actually do what your parents tell you to do.
Yes, sir.
I watch people from another culture in the supermarket. You know, they come in the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
They walking up and down the aisle. Mommy. Yes, Jeremy. Yes, Heather.
Mm-hmm.
I hate you. Mommy, I'm not going to do it. They throw a tantrum and they just ask, Jeremy, would you please do it? No. Sometimes you need some of that slapology.
That's right.
You need that broomology.
That's right.
My mother could take and you know what I'm about to say. My mother could look at us.
That's right.
Yes.
When she looked at us with that look, we knew what was up. And it was nothing else going to happen that way. We need some strong parenting. And it is possible to be done in a way that's not abusive, in a way that's not in any way a deprivation of your children's rights as human beings and individuals. They can grow into their own vision with their own mind. They can do all of that. But you have to give firmness. What should young people know? They should know that the fall of America is happening. They should know they can get caught up in the fall of America if they go along with the agenda of the beast. They should know that the way out is to follow Islam as taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Over my shoulder there, you see a flag on the table. See that red on the table right there? See it? That's the flag that's behind Brother James's shoulder.
That's right.
It's the flag of the Nation of Islam, freedom, justice, and equality. That is the flag that represents life for the black man and woman. We have to be unequivocal about this. You got to accept Islam. This is your nature. This is who you created to be. Anything else not gonna cut it. We got to stop playing like Allah want to negotiate with us. He's not negotiating with us. Thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
Allah, when he decrees a matter, he merely says to it, be, and it is. Kun, fayakun.
Yes.
That is the word of Allah.
Yes.
There's no changing it. There's no altering it. It doesn't change. This book, there is no doubt in it. It's not a slippery slope of equivocation and mind changing. It's not about fence sitting and vacillation. It is definitive. We must be definitive in our commitment to it. Doesn't mean you won't struggle. It doesn't mean you won't fall. It doesn't mean you won't have difficulty. But when you get up, you keep getting up and keep pushing on. And at the end of the day, you're going to fall in the mud sometime. But I remember high school when I went to Walnut Hills High School in Cincinnati. Shout out Cincinnati. And I was on the football team. You didn't want to come into the locker room at the end of the game and your uniform was clean.
Come on, brother.
That meant you never got in the game. But if you get in the game, you're going to get some mud on you. You're going to have some grass stains on you.
Yes.
You might have some blood on you. You're going to have some of the paint from the other team's helmets on you. If you're hitting in the game, you might have some snot on you because you knocking the snot out of jokers on the field.
Go ahead.
But the only way for you to stay entirely clean is for you not to get in the game. But you get in the game and you get up and you scrimmage the devil. You scrimmage him over and over again, and you pound it down the hatch. And you make it for Islam.
Come on, brother.
And at the end of the game, you might be missing a couple of teeth, but
Right.
you won.
Right.
Yes,
At the end of the game, you might have got your bell rung, but you won.
That's
yes,
right.
You might have some grass stain and some paint stains and blood and snot on you,
Right.
but you won.
yes, sir.
You got to engage the devil within self and in the world at large.
Teach.
That's right. Praise be to Allah. One. Brother Minister, yes. What you about to say, Brother James? Why you talking?
Just going to remind us of the time. And once again, we want to thank all of our viewing and listening audience. I know you are enjoying this program as I am and as we are. Thank you, Student Minister Jamil Muhammad. Wonderful testimony, wonderful preaching, and wonderful teaching. All praises due to Allah. Let's take advantage of, we got about 5 more minutes, if that, brother, before we go into our closing announcements. And I'll leave that in your hands, brother, Student Minister Jamil.
Let me say this. There are 3 things.
Oh, yes.
That God has never seen. When I said that at the top of the program, y'all said, that boy crazy. He out his mind.
Yes.
But there's 3 things that God has never seen. I bet you I can prove it. Number 1, God has never seen a sin that he did not hate.
Go ahead, teach.
Allah hates sin and rebellion.
Teach.
Allah hates disbelief and hypocrisy. He hates the contortion of the human mind that he created to think right, as it is directed in the avenue of wrong. Allah has never seen, God has never seen a sin that he did not hate. Can we agree?
That's right.
We all agree on the same page?
Yes.
Brother Maurice, you agree? Okay, Brother Henry, you agree? Okay, everybody? Okay, all right, let's go forward. The second thing that God has never seen is a sinner that he didn't love.
Teach.
In fact, the one reason why Allah hates sin so much is that it ill affects the one that he loves. Have you ever heard the minister say the believer is the beloved of God?
That's right.
Anything that ill affects your beloved, you don't like that thing. So Allah has never seen a sin that he didn't hate, and he never seen a sinner that he didn't love.
Go ahead, brother.
He loves who he created. He created you to be brought into his favor. He created you to sit on those couches in gardens, on raised couches. He created you to wear those green brocade robes. He created you for the gold bracelets and the goblets with a vessel of fine drink.
Yes,
he created you for heaven. So anything that interferes with that, he don't like it. Will we agree on point number 2 that God has never seen a sinner that he didn't love?
Yes, sir.
So we're in agreement for the first 2 points.
Right.
Yes. Can I get some agreement in the chat? I see I see you agree. Come on, somebody. I need you to know. Come on, Jerome Dolly. Come on, agree with me now. I need to know. Are you with me now? I sound like Kurt Franklin. Oh, you with me? No, not Kurt Franklin. But I need to know. Are you okay? Sister Clintonia, come on. I need to know what's happening, Brother Patrick. I know you agree.
There we go.
Okay, you all agree.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. They
Look
said.
here.
Okay.
Brother Minister Troy is with us tonight from Washington, D.C. Good to see you, my brother. Then the third thing that God has never seen is a soul that he couldn't save.
Whoa.
He's never seen a soul he couldn't save.
Okay.
What sin do you think is beyond the capacity of God to save that sinner? He said that he'll find some people that never did no good at all. He'll pluck them up out the depths of hell and set them in heaven.
No one
He told us in this Holy Quran that if you put just a little bit of good on your scale, he'll remove your evil.
Yes.
You heard earlier that he will forgive your sins altogether and throw them in the sea of forgetfulness.
That's right.
Do you think you've done that Allah, number 1, don't know about, and number 2, can't save you from?
Redemption. Come on, Brother Jamil.
Allah knows you a gangster.
That's right. Yes.
Sister, he knows you a gangster. Brother, he knows you struggle with gender identity. Sister, he knows you got a dope problem. He knows you smoke cigarettes. He knows that you date 4 or 5 different cats, one to pay your rent, one to buy your earrings, one to buy your pocketbook, all those things. I said pocketbook. Oh my goodness, that's old school.
Yes.
Well, anyway, you know what I mean.
Come on.
See, Allah knows these
Teach,
things, but
beloved.
there's nothing that He can't reach you with. Where you start the healing process is first in your mind and in your heart tonight. Then
Yes.
tomorrow morning, get up and find the Nation of Islam
Yes.
in your city.
That's right.
And go and tell the brother or the sister that meets you at the door, I'm tired of being out here in this world full of sin. And that country boy told me to come down here this morning and see you. You tell him you heard from old loudmouth brother Jamil, and he said, come to the mosque and be your own self.
That's
if
right.
you've been to the mosque and you was in the nation and you're not active and you don't come out no
Come
more,
on.
you got a problem with this one and that one, go to the mosque tomorrow and get it together.
Teach, bro.
Amen.
Sit and stand on the square
That's
and
right.
get it together
Mhm.
and be your own self. Your own self is a righteous Muslim.
That's right.
3 things he never seen: a sin that he didn't hate, a sinner that he didn't love, and a soul that he couldn't save. Can we all agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
We're in agreement.
100%.
Thank you for
Wonderful.
having me tonight, brothers. This has been
Allahu
Closing the Gap broadcast,
Yes.
and we appear on YouTube, on Facebook, and on stations near you.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Allahu Akbar. Praise be to Allah. Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Thank
Praise
you,
be to
brother.
Allah. Thank you again. And please stay with us while we go into our closing announcements. I want to thank once again our viewing and listening audience, all of you who attend regularly, and those who may be new. We thank you so much for your time and your attention. And that is the best charity that you can give. And we thank you so much for that. We want to ask you, though, if you'd like to express your support to this program, you enjoy what we are presenting and being edified and inspired by it, then you can also help us financially by going to CTG Broadcast, that's Cash App, CTG Broadcast, and make your donation there. PayPal, you can go to jkingdom1@aol.com, and Zelle, go to Closing the Gap Broadcast at gmail.com. We appreciate your help. We need your help. And all of what we have accomplished, we have moved beyond one broadcast, and we are a network comprised of 6 active broadcasts and 2 that are on sabbatical, but they will return. And we have 2 more in the application stage. We can do this with your help. Thank you so much as we attempt to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, our wonderful Nation of Islam, lifting him and them up so that they can draw all men and women unto them. All praises due to Allah. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Brother Chad with his announcement part.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Student Minister James. And once again, we thank you, Student Minister Jamil, for being on here. Such a wonderful job in our listening audience. And for those that didn't get a chance to get your question answered, that just means that we have to have a part 2. So
that's right.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We want to encourage everyone to pick up the Final Call newspaper. When you see the brothers and sisters out there, out and about, make sure that you get your latest edition of the Final Call newspaper with news you can use, everything in it for us, by us.
That's right.
Make sure you pick it up. We also want to encourage you to subscribe today. Get your digital copy, all right, where you can go to finalcalldigital.com, all right. Also, if you want to hear more of this life-giving teachings, you want to get books, you want to get the DVDs and the tapes and anything of that sort, please go to store.finalcall.com to get the latest. All right. Also, we want to encourage everyone, if you don't have the app, download the app to tune in to finalcallradio.com. This is a free radio app where you can listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, different lectures. You can hear his music from his box CD. You can tune in. You can also purchase it. Go and purchase it if you haven't gotten it yet. It will make a great gift if you do got it. Get it for someone else. Well, we got it around the corner. All right. So make sure that you get that for someone. Also, for those that's tuning in, for whether it's your first, second, or third time, and you believe what you heard to be the truth and it's good for our people, we want to encourage you to join us at www.noi.org/join and fill out the digital form that you see here on your screen. And someone will be in touch with you so you can start that mighty orientation and processing class by Allah's grace. We want to also encourage those, just as our dear Brother Jamil said, to come out to your mosque, your study group in the nearest city near you. For those that are in the Bay Area, we want to encourage you and welcome you to come out to Mosque 47 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
This lecture that I'll be giving, inshallah, called The Raising of a Messenger, a People, and a Nation. So meet us at Mosque 47 at 5508 North 50th Street, Tampa, Florida, if you're in the Bay Area. And by chance, if you're not, go to your nearest mosque study group, or you can also tune in at www.noi.org to hear the latest and the greatest from one of the ministers, the student ministers up under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, giving you the life-giving teaching. Praise be to Allah. Thank you. I turn it back over to you, Student Minister James.
All praise is due to Allah. Well, nothing else to be said except expressions of words of gratitude to our dear, dear, dear brother, friend, student minister, mentor, all of that. And our dear brother, student minister, Jamil Muhammad. Wonderful presentation, wonderful testimony, wonderful history.
Yes, it was.
You always make me tear up.
I couldn't remember everybody and say everybody's name, but every one of us, whether we're in high position or we just Brother Johnny 42X in the lobby, right? Sister Ruby May that cook in the kitchen. Thank you, Nation of Islam. Thank you. Thank you, because Allah sees you and knows that you do well. If you can't get to the mosque, I agree with my brother Chad. Tune into the webcast and hear Minister Ishmael Muhammad from the National Center and all the brothers who are there, the sisters who are there. But we got us a great nation.
Yes, we do.
And you are part of it. Come on, get on your post now. Come on.
That's right. We are thankful to everybody. Over 100 people still tuning in. We're very thankful for you. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel also.
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah.
Thank you. All praises due to Allah. Next week, inshallah, we will have the honor and privilege of hosting our dear brother, student minister. You all know him, Abel Muhammad, representative of the Latino community of the Nation of Islam and the world. He will be with us next week. All praises due to Allah. And then after that, we will have our dear beloved brother hailing from the West Coast, student minister Saeed Abdul Saeed Malik Saeed Muhammad. He will be with us on the 13th. So don't you miss an episode.
That's right.
We encourage you to also participate in the episodes of our affiliate broadcasts. They are broadcasting throughout the week. We don't have time to list them all, but the teachings are rolling on under Closing the Gap Broadcast Network, and of course, others who are attempting to get this message out on social media. We love you all. I saw my brother DJ Rockwell, or Brother Vaughn of the Rockwell radio station.
My man.
Yeah, he airs along with us on Saturday, and we're not in no competition.
No.
Because he is a member, well, he's our brother first and foremost,
right?
But he is also a member of Closing the Gap Broadcast Network. So tune into him, tune into us. Make sure you get the teachings. That's the point.
Absolutely.
That's the point. Thank you.
And that ain't nothing but the truth.
That's right. And nothing but the truth. When is that again, Brother Minister Jamil?
Thursday nights at 8. But I bet I got to get that kitchen together, or else I might get canceled myself.
All right, go ahead. Yes, sir. And I gotta let Brother Chad go to celebrate his wonderful, wonderful wife's birth anniversary.
That's right.
Praise be to Allah. So I appreciate you staying just a couple of minutes over.
Absolutely, no problem.
I love her. And I'm scared of her. So don't. so, so I'm sorry, Sister Latricia. We're gonna let Brother James
Alhamdulillah.
give my love and greetings to my wonderful nieces and nephew, Brother Chad. Please.
Inshallah, we'll do. Praise be to
Praise
Allah.
be to Allah. I love you all, man.
I love you too.
Praise be to Allah. Salam alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. Until next week, same time, same station. Closing the Gap broadcast. Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks,